From Hollywood, the Jack Benny Program.
Okay, fellas, strike the set. We got an early call in the morning.
Sounds like rehearsal's over. Mr. Benny, how'd everything go?
Oh, I hope the show is as good tomorrow as it was at the rehearsal today.
Funny show, huh?
Oh, funny show, funny show. Rochester, on television, it isn't only being funny that counts. You know, the important thing is your appearance, the way you look. And my director paid me a wonderful compliment.
He did?
Yeah, he said that in the close-ups, my shoulders were as broad as Rock Hudson.
Really?
Yeah. And you know what he said in the long shots? He said I looked taller. He said I looked as tall as Jimmy Stewart.
No kidding.
Yes, sir. And in the medium shot, Rochester, you won't believe this. In the medium shots, he said I looked as thin as Audrey Hepburn.
Audrey Hepburn?
Yeah. Ya-da-dee-da-dum, ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-bum. Oh, Rochester, put these things away, will you, please?
Rock Hudson! Jimmy Stewart! Hepburn!
There. Feel more comfortable now. Oh, Rochester, give me some of that cleansing tissue over there, will you, please?
Yes. Boss, I can't understand. Why did you go all the trouble of makeup, wardrobe, and everything just to do a rehearsal?
Well, Rochester, ordinarily I don't do it, you know. But you know that fella that came over here, the reporter, to give me the interview, you know, Mr. Sanders?
Oh, yeah, the one who do that article on you for the National Magazine.
That's the guy. Well, he came to rehearsal, and I thought I'd try and look as, you know, as good as I could. And everything went fine, except for Dennis Day. Again, he didn't show up at rehearsal.
Late again, huh?
Yeah. I don't know about that kid. He absolutely... That must be him now. Dennis?
No, it's Maggie from Wardrobe.
Oh, come on in. Oh, Maggie.
Here's your suit, Mr. Benny. Hope you like the way I pressed it.
Oh, you always do a good job, you know.
Thanks. Oh, but let me remind you something.
What?
You're not supposed to bring your personal things to the wardrobe to have them pressed at our studio, you know.
What are you talking about, personal things? I wear this suit on the show.
I'm talking about these drapes.
Now, look.
Now, don't argue with me. I've seen them hanging in your house.
Yeah, but he got it from the studio.
Rochester, nobody asked you. Now, don't worry about my personal effects. Now, just hang this up, will you? And listen, hey, wait a minute.
What's the matter?
Look, there were 2 buttons off of this coat, and you only sewed one back on.
There was only one in the pocket.
What became of the other button?
I don't know. Maybe you bought a paper with it.
Don't be funny. Rochester, what happened to that other button?
You put it in the telephone.
I knew I didn't buy a paper with it. Well, I tell you what, hang it up in the closet, will you, Maggie?
Hello, Mr. Benny. Gee, I'm sorry I'm late.
Sorry you're late. Sorry you're late. For heaven's sake, Dennis, this always happened when we... Hey, wait a minute. This is the first time I ever saw you wear glasses. Are your eyes getting weak?
No.
Well, are you nearsighted?
No.
Have you got astigmatism?
No.
Well, then why are you wearing those glasses?
My uncle died and left them to me.
Bill died. Gee, that's a shame.
Yeah, I can't see a darn thing with them.
Well, of course you can't see with them. You gotta have a prescription. I'll take them all.
Okay.
You know, Dennis, sometimes you do the silliest thing I've ever heard of. Just because somebody leaves you something in the will doesn't mean that you have to use it.
I don't?
No.
Want to buy a set of teeth?
No, I don't! And don't give me all those silly things about your uncle. Your uncle didn't die. I saw him this morning. He was walking down the street.
That was my aunt. He left her his clothes.
Dennis, look it. You just got here. Already I'm a wreck. Will you do me a favor? The director is still on the stage. Will you go back there, rehearse your song in front of him, and leave me alone? Just leave me alone, that's all. Will you go there?
Well, I finished straightening all your clothes, Mr. Benny. Now, if you don't need me for anything else, I'll run along.
All right, honey, while you're going downstairs, will you take all that stuff back to the prop room?
Okay. These I'll return to the prop department. But this is mine. Oh, hello, Mr. Morgan.
Hello, Aggie. Mr. Sanders here has another couple questions he wants to ask you.
Oh, well, did you get any help by watching our show, Mr. Sanders?
Yes, quite a bit. I certainly enjoyed watching that rehearsal, Mr. Benny. The restaurant scene was very funny.
Oh, well, thank you. Sit down. Say, I must tell you about that restaurant scene that we have there. You know all that food that we had around
Yeah,
it?
the food looked really delicious.
Didn't it, though? Well, I got something to tell you. That food is made of wax.
Wax?
Yeah.
I thought that turkey was a little dry.
You know, we deliberately made it out of wax so he wouldn't eat it.
Well, I couldn't find the director, Mr. Benny, so if you'll hear my song, I can go home.
Dennis, I promise to listen to your song. If you promise, you'll go right home afterwards.
Okay.
Will you? You promise?
Right.
All right.
On the first warm day, on the first warm day in May, I'm gonna come a-calling and bring you a big bouquet. On the first warm night that the moon is shining bright, we won't feel much like talking, so I'll kiss you and hold you tight. Then we'll climb the hill, and there beneath the cherry tree where all is still, I'll say, marry me, oh, marry me the first warm day, on the first warm day in May, and we'll teach the birds and bees a thing or two. See how I love you. It's just about time for the trees to bud, the rains to come and the creek to flood, and just about time I confess to you the things I'm busting to do. On the first warm day, on the very first day in May, we will teach the birds and bees a thing or two. Say, we'll be so happy when we're walking down the aisle on the first warm day.
What'd you think of the song, Mr. Benny?
Dennis, you promise. Go home, kid. the candle.
Once you acquire a taste for this stuff, it's great.
Have you got a good story now that you've watched rehearsals?
Well, yes, I've got a good start, but I don't have too much about the early part of your career. Now, for example, how old were you when you left Waukegan?
When I left Waukegan, well, my hometown, I was about 22 years old.
Uh-huh.
And I remember it distinctly. You see, I had an offer to get into show business in Chicago, which is a short ways from Waukegan, you know. And I'll never forget how we had the worst argument, my parents and myself. We got into the worst argument about whether I should leave home or not. And finally, well, one morning I got up about 3 o'clock and got dressed and got on a train, went to Chicago.
Well, I can understand how at 22 you'd want to break away from your parents and get out in the world.
No, I wanted to stay. They wanted me to get out. Well, anyway, things went on, you know, little thing after another. And finally, I found myself in show business.
Have you ever thought what would have happened if you hadn't left Waukegan? What would you be doing now?
You know, a strange thing, Mr. Sanders. I never thought of that. But, you know, when I was a young kid, music was my whole life.
Yeah.
I loved music. So I imagine if I hadn't gone into show business, I probably would have remained in my hometown, Waukegan, probably married a local girl there, and then maybe I'd have been a violin teacher or something. That's what yes. I bet you I would have I'd have been a violin teacher. You should be very proud of your boy, Mrs. Jameson. He has a lot of talent.
What did you say?
I said you should be proud of your boy. He has a lot of talent.
Oh, thank you. Is the lesson over?
What did you say?
I said, is the lesson over?
Oh, yes. Except he has to come back next week, Wednesday. You played very, very well. And don't forget, a lesson again next Wednesday, huh? What did you say? I said, don't forget. You gotta come back next week for a lesson. Don't forget, on Wednesday. Okay.
Well, I finished in the hall. Is it all right if I clean in here now?
Yes, go right ahead.
Here's your 50 cents for the lesson.
No, honey, it's 55 cents.
But the lesson is only 50 cents.
Well, it's 5 cents for the cotton. Thank you.
Just a minute, son. Mabel.
Yes, ma'am.
Our regular cleaning woman is ill. I wonder if you could give me a day next week.
Well, now, on Monday, I work for Mrs. Johnson. On Tuesday, I work for Mrs. Thompson. On Wednesday, for Mrs. Hopkins. And Thursday, for Mrs. Carroll.
What about Friday?
Oh, on Friday, I have to clean here.
You have to clean here?
Well, that's the least I can do. I'm married to this jerk.
Well, if you change your mind, let me know.
Why did you have to say that to Mrs. Jameson?
Because I'm disgusted, that's why. I'm sick and tired of living like this. Why, who in the world can get by on 50 cents an hour for violin lessons?
But look at the extras I charge them for, like violin strings and music and rosin. I don't know why you're always complaining.
Well, I've got a right to. After all, I'm a woman, and I like to get out once in a while.
Well, you do get out. You get out to Mrs. Johnson's on Monday. Mrs. Thompson's on Tuesday. Mrs. Hopkins.
I didn't mean that. I want to get out and dance and have fun, enjoy myself.
Oh,
how I regret the day I met you.
Well, I wasn't chasing you, you know. You came over here to me every day.
I had to. I was delivering ice.
Gee, I'll never forget our wedding night when you put the ice tongs in my ears and carried me over the threshold.
I should have carried you to the ice box and closed the door.
One of my other pupils.
Oh, Professor Benny?
Yes.
Yeah, we're from the Globe Furniture Company.
Oh, I'm sorry. I've got all the furniture I need.
Well, you're going to need a lot more when we leave. We're repossessing yours.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I was delayed with my payment.
Just step aside. Charlie, you take that chair, and I'll take the totem pole.
That's my wife! Hello, Mr. Timmon. Joey?
How come you're moving out the furniture?
Oh, we're redecorating the room.
Oh, what are you going to have?
Wall-to-wall nothing.
Don't be comical. Now, come on, Joey. I want to hear you play.
Oh, just a minute, Mr. Benny. I'd like to ask you something first.
What's that?
According to your sign, it says lessons are 50 cents.
Right.
Well, what about the bill I got for last week? You charged him $2.45.
I did?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Let me look that up. Just 1 second. I got it right here. Let's see where it is here. Someplace here. Oh, here it is. Here it is right here. Look. 50 cents for lessons, 10 cents for music paper, 75 cents for an E string, and $1.10 for a haircut. A haircut?
He tried to give me a shave, but I fought him off.
Joey, come on, let me hear you play.
If you don't mind, I'd like to stay and watch the lesson.
Oh, well, here, wait a minute.
No. I want to hear what's going on.
All right, Joey, let me hear what you learned last time. Now, Joey, wait a minute. That's very, very good, but you're forgetting one thing. Remember what I told you about you're holding the violin wrong? Now, the elbow up a little bit higher. You got it? Now, get your chin a little bit more on the chin rest. A little bit like that. See? More comfortable now. And here, and a stiffer bow arm. See, you want a stiffer, just a little stiffer bow. Now, let me hear the same thing. Go ahead. Now you've got it.
This is ridiculous. I've been bringing him here for 8 years, and every time you show him something, he gets worse. Look at, he's had all the violin lessons he's gonna have.
Look, I'll only charge you 35 cents.
I don't care what you charge me, he's not gonna play this violin ever again. Come on, Joey. And you give lousy haircuts, too.
Mabel, get a box. We've got another jigsaw puzzle.
This one you can put together yourself. I'm leaving. I've had all I can take. I'm getting out of this town.
No, Mabel. Oh. Mabel, you mustn't. Mabel, you mustn't leave.
Oh, stop pleading. All you ever think about is yourself.
I don't think of just myself. I'm thinking of Mrs. Johnson and Mrs. Thompson.
You worry about them. I'm getting out of here.
I don't know. I don't know why all these things happen to me. Music has been my whole life. All I try to do is to make people happy. That's all. Just try to have them play like I do. I can't understand what's happening.
What did you say?
Oh, brother. Oh, don't know what's happened here to me. I can't figure it out. She thinks she's going back to her old job. Wait till she finds out that other people have refrigerators. Oh, I don't know. What a day I've had today. What a day. My pupils have left me. My furniture is all gone. My wife left me. It's even worse than yesterday. I don't know, maybe I should stop giving violin lessons. I'm sick of this cotton picking business anyway. What can I do? I've got to make a living. I've got to make a living. What can I do? Mrs. Johnson, from now on, I'll be here on Monday.
Jack will be back in just a moment, but first...
What's here to make a wonderful article. So I guess I'll be running along. It's been a pleasure meeting you, sir.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Mr. Benny,
Yeah?
I've got everything in the car, and I'm waiting for you.
Okay, good.
Well, say, Rochester, before I write this article, I'd like to interview you for a few hours.
Well, I've got a busy week.